Hi. It's been a hot second, hasn't it? If a second lasted over 2 years. I haven't even checked anything in so long, but I saw there were a lot of people asking for me to come back. Thank you to everyone who left such sweet comments, by the way. It means a lot that you enjoyed my channel so much, and I'm so happy you could get something good out of it. It was only ever supposed to be something fun for other people, especially young girls, to have something to relate to in a platform full of beauty and lifestyle influencers. I think I really enjoyed it because it was something I felt personally connected to, but near the end it was getting harder and harder to think of things to do. I think the pressure of coming up with something to upload began to outweigh that enjoyment, which is why I stopped. So if you couldn't tell, I won't be making this tomboy videos anymore. In general, I'm older and my personal tastes have changed, and I've also become more aware of the byproducts of boxing yourself like that. Some people would always say, well, I do XYZ, can I still be considered a tomboy? And others would tell me, oh sorry, you can't possibly be a tomboy because you do XYZ. Obviously, there's no textbook definition of what a tomboy is. You aren't suddenly exempt because you have, long, luscious locks or something. I feel like there was and is a lot of gatekeeping going on, which made a lot of people feel bad about themselves for not following every single little rule there is to being a tomboy, subsequently forcing themselves to either do something or pretend to enjoy something they just don't. And by the way, bad-mouthing a 13-year-old for doing something that makes her happy and telling her to grow up, which she's clearly in the process of doing, is not very admirable. You know who you are. Anyways, as I was saying, we all know a tomboy is a girl who tends to enjoy more traditionally masculine things or presents themselves in a more traditionally masculine manner. Or, as the dictionary defines it, a girl who enjoys rough, noisy activities traditionally associated with boys. There shouldn't be a set of rules you have to follow, which is part of what I regret with the whole ranking thing. If you couldn't tell, I kept making exceptions or trying to write off stereotypes, but there were so many it was hard to account for all of them. So it was like a balance between giving girls who weren't very girly content to relate to, while also trying to make sure people didn't feel locked out because of something small. If you personally like being called a tomboy, then congrats, you are. Of course, people shouldn't say they're a tomboy when they know they're clearly not, but it isn't even an official term or anything. Do what makes you happy, cliche as it may be. Then there's the whole thing with quirky culture, where you go out of your way to seem different. And while it's good to be unique, there's nothing wrong with enjoying something that everyone else does. There's a reason why it's popular, and you shouldn't feel bad for enjoying it too. And I shouldn't have to say it, but the last thing you should be doing is putting down other girls, especially when they're young. Please don't be one of those pick me people. I'm sure much of my audience is or was my age, and I saw some weird hostility in the comments sometimes, either against self-proclaimed tomboys who people didn't think were tomboy enough, or against quote-unquote girly girls. There is absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying makeup or dresses or pink or any of those traditionally feminine things. It doesn't matter if it's too mainstream or typical, it doesn't mean they can't be cool or interesting in their own way. In that same respect, if you are a self-proclaimed tomboy, it's perfectly okay to do or enjoy something more feminine occasionally. It doesn't strip you of anything. Or if you don't ever want to, then don't. Don't let people change you. One thing I want to express with my videos is that you shouldn't ever have to feel bad for not liking dresses or makeup or the like, since most girls are expected to. I just really wanted to create a space for other girls like me who weren't into the girly things that many others my age enjoyed. Since there was almost no one else on YouTube who really did that sort of thing, I felt like I could make something that people could relate to for once, as someone who shared similar interests. I'm hoping some people were able to get that out of my videos. Is this cheesy? Yes. Enough preaching. I don't know if you came here for a life update, but I'm applying to college now, so I guess I'm keeping busy enough. I still play volleyball, though I couldn't this past season because of both the virus and a shoulder injury. Swim season was canceled this summer, but otherwise I've been keeping that up too. Whatever I thought was hectic about freshman year was multiplied tenfold for junior year, but I made it through anyway with the APs and SAT and everything. I'm doing decently well for myself, I guess, and I've kept many of the same interests or else expanded upon them. If you're wondering about my tomboyness, I'd say, well, I wouldn't label myself as such, since as I previously addressed, it makes me feel kind of boxed in. I still play those sports, I still wear sneakers and sweatpants and a hoodie the majority of the time, especially when it's cold, but that's probably for lack of fashion sense and love for comfort more than anything. Blue is still my favorite color, I still can't do makeup for the life of me, and dresses still make me uncomfortable. So it's not that me or my interests have changed drastically or anything, clearly, though my dad claims they look pretty different physically. But I appreciate the other things as well, like loose jeans or non-t-shirts. Heathen, I know. I hope you're all doing well, and if you're watching this, thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for all your kind comments and support. I really enjoyed it, especially as a young girl, and I am so happy I could make something that you enjoyed as well. I'm sorry I left with a video that seemed to promise more than I gave. I saw a lot of people asking for me to come back, and I'm sorry to say that I won't be posting any more tomboy-related videos. I just wanted to say something so you're not left in limbo forever, and also to impart my newly earned wisdom as an almost adult. Thank you again for everything, and bye! For now, JK. Unless...